Susan was born. I came up, we had to get Mark because Chan and Stephen couldn't take care of them on their own. So Susan had been born, and I came up with Patsy, my mom, to get Mark. And I remember it must have been early morning. Chan looked half like he hadn't been sleeping. So Mark couldn't have been 2 years old. So we got him and took him back to Mount Holly and had him until Susan came home from the hospital. But I don't think Mark had any clothes packed because I remember Mama going to Durr, Mount Holly, and we had to buy Mark outfits and stuff. So we had a good time with him. And then we brought him back, and then Mama ended up with a bad stomach bug from Mark after it was all said and done.
What you remember about the Rhyne family Christmas?
Every year we'd get together and you'd hear Uncle Gary, "Come on, we got some shrimp out here for you."
Every year, the Rhyne family Christmas, our Uncle Gary, our famous Uncle Gary, makes these shrimp that are like to die for. He's going to tell you how he does it.
Well, first I have to peel them, and get them all cleaned up for you. And then we get the skillet real hot. And then we put the shrimp in with a little olive oil, and then we get some black magic and put on.
Black magic?
Yeah, keep flipping them and get them done. And then that's about all. Main thing you gotta have is a skillet. Keep it hot.
Hot.
Hot. All
All
right.
right, thank you.
No.
I mean, it's only like 45 degrees out here, but you're tough. Next question is, what do you think of Uncle Gary's shrimp? You know, these are world famous. What do you think of them?
I think they're perfect.
They're perfect? So, like, some of the best you've ever had, or what?
I think so.
Yeah? Cool.
He knows how to cook them, man.
Nancy Roy, granddaughter.
Okay, so this is what I remember about Chan. I remember being here little and spending a whole week with Aunt Jane and Uncle Steve. Maybe Jane was here with me too. I remember Chan rode a pony down the field out here, and the pony ran so fast, and Chan fell off the pony and rolled down the hill and broke his collarbone. Then I remember one 4th of July that Chan was trying to water ski like crazy, and anyway, had to go to the hospital for that weekend too. So I think I married someone like Chan because he's had multiple injuries too. So I remember when I was probably about 4 being at the beach with Papa, and I woke up early and he took me with him. I was in my pajamas and we went to 7-Eleven, and can't remember exactly what we got, probably a Slurpee, but then we came back. I thought it was the best thing ever, and my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, you took her in her pajamas." And then also at the Rhyne house, I remember, do you remember looking for all the silver coins in that big tube? We thought there was going to be like $1 million of silver coins there. And they cut it open with a saw trying to get out all the silver coins. And it turned out there weren't that many there, but I remember that. And
Tally, tell us what you remember about the Rhyne family Christmas.
I remember, it's not really Christmas, but coming here and riding Twindita with Aunt Jane and my grandma.
Susan Bomber, granddaughter.
One summer going to Aunt Patsy and Uncle Gary's house.
It's all right, you're cool.
I remember going to Aunt Patsy and Uncle Gary's house, and I was so excited to go get on their swing set, and I ran out there, and little did they know nobody had been out there, and there was a hornet's nest hanging down on the bottom of the swing, and a big hornet came and stung me on the ankle, and I went running, and they took care of me. I remember going to Aunt Patsy's every Christmas, and they always had, it was their old house, and they always had the big tree in the center of the living room. And we'd all go through the line and fix, and her kitty cats would run and hide under the beds. And I remember we always played pool. And when Jordan was a little baby, we put him up on the pool table, and he chased pool balls on their pool table. But we always had so much fun in that back room.
Yeah, they had toys in there.
Mark White, grandson.
Well, I remember going to Uncle Gary's and Aunt Patsy's, and come in closer, you probably won't be able to hear me.
I hear you good.
Chex Mix, coconut cake.
Oh, yes, coconut.
The pool table, Uncle Gary chewing on a cigar, all those things. That was, I mean, going to Aunt Patsy on Gary's was big fun. Aunt Patsy would scratch my back, and I love that.
Steve White Jr., grandson.
I remember. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember staying at grandfather Ryan's house, and they lived on Main Street, and so they were not far from the railroad track. And so when we would go for Christmas, we would spend the night, and you would hear that train at like 11 or 12 at night, and it was like the coolest noise. It was at first as a child we're hearing a train because we grew up kind of out in the country. But my favorite memory of Christmas was when I was probably 9 and Chan was 7, and we both got Honda mini bikes. And mine was yellow, Chan's was blue. And Chan didn't quite know how to ride his yet, but I did. So Dad and I went out, and he said they lived on a long straight stretch behind their house. It was a long straight stretch. And my grandparents did. And my dad said, "You want to race?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "We'll race all the way down the end of that straight stretch and back." And so I take off on the yellow one, he's on the blue one, and I'm winning. Well, I didn't know there was a clutch, a choke. So he takes and turns the choke off, and his blue one just took off and blew me away. And I was so mad that my yellow one didn't run as fast as the blue one, not knowing that there's a little secret called a choke. And he gave me a hard time about that. But I remember that had that memory.
Jane Rhyne White, daughter.
This was in a summer, and I'm thinking Chan was maybe 5 years old, 4 years old, and my daddy liked to tease. And he got Chan with his head between his legs and started teasing him about, "You like girls, you like little girls." And Chan couldn't take it. And he came up and he bopped him in the head. And my daddy said, "Well, I guess I learned a lesson." He didn't do that anymore. Everybody knows that Steve wanted things to be nice and straight and even. And my daddy, he was so particular that he would get Mother to lay our toys on the bed. We had a bedroom that we weren't allowed to go into at Christmas. And they would count up how much had spent on each child. And then if somebody, I remember one year I overheard, and so I knew what was going on. And I think it was about $2 difference between my sister and I. So they had to do something to make it
Wow,
even.
they were that particular.
They were that particular.
Yeah.
I just remember
Chan
the
White,
Christmas
grandson.
at the Rhines, and he was always made Christmas exciting. He got us a lot of gifts and stuff. I remember we got through opening gifts, and I remember it was either Nancy or Jane started counting, and the other one had gotten more than she did and said, "Mama, she got more than I did," and it embarrassed Aunt Patsy, and she, "Shh, you be quiet now," and so it was kind of funny as a kid. So I remember that. But I do remember a white Christmas there. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It was snowing in Mount Holly one Christmas there. But
The anticipation of opening Christmas gifts.
Okay.
Don't forget the foot rubs.
let's just wait till I finish eating. Just a little longer.
All right. How many are grandchildren here? Little grandchildren.
Right here.
Oh.
MJ is over here.
Yes, I'm a grandbaby.
Hey, I'll give you a little clue. Get down
I think we should sing about 7 or 8 Christmas hymns.
Who wants to help
Oh,
me?
Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree.
I'm trying.
I think we'll read the whole chapter of Luke, Mark.